Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the Wake Up podcast. And today, I wonder if you can guess. I wonder if you can guess what we're going to talk about.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to talk about our favourite artists, BTS. Yes.
It's not for the visual people who are watching this. I've got some sunlight right now. I'm just hoping the sun goes down a bit. But we just have to roll with it right now.
We do. But before we get into it and start talking about BTS and everything, there's a lot we want to talk about here. We just want to talk about where we've been and how we've been. Because
we introduced ourselves.
Oh, okay. You're with your host, me, Aisha.
Me, Lucy.
Yes.
So, okay, what's going... This just explains our week, doesn't it?
It truly does. We've been away for a week. We had a week off because life was just getting hectic, especially for you.
Oh, I've been through it.
Honestly.
When did we have our... I'm trying to think when was the last time we filmed. Because obviously I've been working and then I got sick, like COVID-19 symptom sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn. And then my birthday was coming up. The sun's coming even more on my face.
Yo, someone doesn't want us to film today.
I know. Someone hates us. What's going on? Someone's cursed us. I'm moving over. But anyway. Oh my God. Hello. So.
There you go.
That's better. So basically, yeah, I got like COVID-19 kind of sick. And my birthday was coming up. My 21st birthday was coming up. And yeah, I had to cancel all my birthday plans, and I had to have time off work, which obviously isn't paid, so that's great. And I had to go get tested for COVID-19, which came back negative, which is Gucci. So I just got a cold in summer. So, well, what's new?
Yeah, it's always you, isn't it?
I know, it's always me. And to add to it, my car's now making some mad moves.
God.
And apparently I have no oil in my car, and that's like dangerous. Oh, anyway, I've been going through it this past week. Yeah. But yeah, it's been crazy. We had to cancel or have a break last week just because I was sick as well, and it was just I just wanted to rest, and I didn't think I could film when I'm like literally had a temperature and was coughing and everything. So
yeah,
nightmare. Crazy times. What about you? How was your week?
My week was all right, actually. Now you ask, I literally can't remember what I did. I do stuff, but when people ask me, I'm like, literally nothing.
Literally me.
Yeah, it's not all negative because we did, even though it wasn't when we planned to do it, we did meet up for your birthday and we went to a cat cafe, went to go eat yesterday.
Oh, they were cute. Who was your favourite cat?
Spinks. He literally a legend. Was it a he or a she?
Spink. What? Spink? Which one?
The one, no, Spock with the ears and the eyes.
Spock, yeah, Spock. He was playing hard to get, you know. I liked what was the one with blue eyes? The really blue eyes.
Bagpuss.
No, that wasn't Bagpuss. Was the really like screwed up face, like fat white one. Mm-hmm. Was it Lynx?
Something like
because they were brothers, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, they were going off, and then it was so nice. The cat cafe, it was 50% off. So that was Gucci. That was cool. And we went for some food, and yeah, we had some cake. It was good. Oh my God, the cake as well for my birthday. Yeah, that was a whole thing as well.
Another stress.
That's another whole thing that stressed my mum out this past week. It came the complete opposite of what she ordered. Thankfully, it's vegan because I'm vegan, but you know, it could be worse. Could have not been vegan. But anyway, this week's been crazy.
It has.
That's why we had to take a break.
We did. Sometimes in life, you just have to have a break. But yeah, this week's been crazy for us, but also for BTS, the world, and BTS. Nice little segue there. But yeah.
I don't know why I said that like that.
Nah, it's been literally insane for them. Like, what a week. The VMAs, Billboard,
Mhm.
everything's happening. So I thought, what a
It's all
better
popping
time.
off. And
Yeah,
Dynamite got released, and
a
since the
bot.
last time we filmed, everything.
Yeah, it's all happening. So we thought, what a better time to just do a whole episode on them, talk about who they are to us, their impact, their achievements, why they're so important. And yeah, so I
Let's
guess,
jump right into it then.
yes. So the first thing I think I wanted to talk about from our opinion and perspective is obviously who they are for people that don't know who they are, and how did we get into them and why we like
Okay.
them. Okay,
Yeah.
so I didn't really plan like an introduction for who they are because I thought I could just talk off the top of my head. But
Go off then.
basically, let me just flex real quick. They are a 7-member K-pop group from South Korea. They debuted in 2013, and their name is BTS, which stands for Bangtan Sonyeondan. That's Korean for Bulletproof Boy Scouts, and that just reflects their message of like fighting against the hardships and prejudice of the younger generation. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think that pretty much.
And then that reflects in the fans' name, Army. Like, it links to their name and like what it actually stands for. Like, we ain't gonna talk
Oh,
about
no,
that.
let's not go there.
That's
But
not. No one likes what it actually stands for. Everyone's like, oh, it's so cheesy.
yeah,
But no, yeah, it's cute. They're yeah, so they've gone from being known for a small Korean band to now being a big boy band around the
massive.
world.
Literally, one of the biggest artists ever. I feel like everyone's heard of BTS these days. They're just
Mm,
constantly breaking records, new achievements. So
mm,
they're becoming a household name, really. So yeah,
they are.
insane what they've been doing. But how did you first get into BTS, and how did you first find them?
So I think like quite a while ago, like quite some years ago now, I came across like one of their music videos, and I'm pretty sure it was Blood, Sweat and Tears. And I was like, oh, okay, like the music video is like really interesting. But like nothing came of that. Like it was just this one video I found. Um, and then I was at uni, and like I saw something on your story, and you were like, and then I saw because you went to like a K-pop society competition, like all the universities get together and do like a dance competition,
Hmm.
and like singing and all sorts. And I saw it, and I think at the time, like I had some things had like resurfaced online as well. Like I was seeing it on Twitter all the time because I was in a fandom for a TV show that I really really like, and I have a tattoo about a quote from that TV show. And some problematic stuff was happening, and with a lot of the cast members, so people were like not really into it, and like I don't really want to associate with this. And everyone was like moving to like liking BTS, and I was like, what's going on? Like, so I'm starting to like they're infiltrating my life
Yes.
slowly but surely. Um, and then I was like, you know what, I'll listen to some of the songs because I saw one photo of them at an airport, and I loved how they all looked, and I was like, all right, okay, maybe there's something to this, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, I started listening to their songs, and like I was kind of like, okay. And I remember specifically getting the bus from my hometown to uni one day, and I just listened to an entire album while I was on the way, like kind of like letting it sit, you know. And it was the most beautiful moments in life. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like listening to that, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, all right. And then obviously we became friends, and I thought, oh, I'll go to K-pop Society and see what that's all about, because that was like a reason like we could like see each other and like
Yeah.
become friends.
Yeah.
So then just from there, my life was over. That's it. That's the
That's it.
story.
It's a
I don't
downhill.
know.
Yeah.
It was like a couple of things, like Twitter was kind of pushing me in that direction, what I was seeing, and and you forced me in. No, I'm joking. But I was seeing it more what you were doing, and then it was getting suggested on like my YouTube and my music suggestions. So I was like, oh, okay, like let's see what this is all about.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened for me. So that was what year was first year of you? 2017?
17, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 years ago.
Yeah. Man,
Damn.
it goes so quick. It feels like it's been ages, but yeah. For me, it's kind of not the opposite, but
You've been in it for the long haul.
Yeah, sort of. Not really. I started in like 2016. So I think the first time I actually heard of BTS, I've heard of K-pop before, but all I knew was like Gangnam Style and what we've been introduced into the West. but in terms of like BTS, I was actually at a 21 Pilots concert and we were waiting in the queue and we were talking about other things and my friend made friends with another girl in the queue and they found out that they both like K-pop. So they were like suggesting stuff to us. So when I got home the next day, I searched BTS, and the first music video I watched was Dope. And you know the start. What does Namjoon say? He's like, I'm not gonna say it crew, but he's like, "Welcome. Is this your first time with BTS?"
Is this your first time?
Yeah, and I was like, "What? How did you know?" No, but it was mad. I really like that song. And at first, I thought, yeah, they were cool, and I was trying to like really get into it because obviously my friend liked it, so I was like, yeah, that's. But then the more I got into it, the more, downhill slope, and here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are today.
Here we are.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's weird how everyone comes from it different ways. Like my friend, like she'll kill me for saying this, but she liked this TV show that I liked, and everyone was like going from this TV show to BTS. Like their Twitters were changing, everything. It was so funny. And she was like, no, I've listened to BTS. I hate them. And now she's studying in Korea and she's learning the Korean language and she is in love with them. It's so weird how everyone finds their own pathway into liking certain things. It's really interesting.
Yeah. How the tables turn. It's crazy. But
the tables do turn.
They do. But I wanted to ask as well, because obviously when we discovered them, we could have just left it. We could have just listened to one song and like moved on. But what do you personally like about them and what's made you stay and become a fan?
So like what really like drew me into like becoming a fan? Okay. I've never really thought about it that deep, you know. I started to really get into the music because I'm somebody who even like bands or artists I really like, sometimes I'll listen to a song first time and it doesn't like make me go, oh yeah, amazing. Sometimes I have to listen to the lyrics or listen to it a couple of times and then it hits me. So like I was listening to them and I was like, I'm getting there. And like, because all the albums are like really different as well. And the music videos are all really different. So there's a lot to take in. But I think I really liked one of the members, Jimin, and I just kind of saw like the struggles and the pressures that he's been through or he's put upon himself. Like there was a lot of issues a long time ago about like his singing voice and like really struggling, and like you see a lot of his discussion of it in the documentaries and stuff that they've done. And then also with like he had an issue a long time ago with weight, like not eating and stuff, and that's kind of, I feel like that's a big thing in Korea anyway, because there's a lot of pressure on the artist to look a certain way.
Yeah.
But that kind of drew me in because like I had been at a point where like I stopped eating very much and I was like, this is how I'm going to get, you know, and like beating myself up about how I looked or like what I was doing. So I kind of felt like, oh, I understand how this person feels. So yeah, and then I started looking into like the lyrics and like I was like, yeah, I understand what they're saying and stuff. So I think that's what made me stay. It wasn't just I didn't go, oh, that's the music and whatever, I'm gone. So that's the thing that started to draw me in, like I think it was their personalities, like who they were, what they've been through, what they stood for was what made me stay. Because I found it really interesting and they had a lot to say and stuff. So that's why I was sucked in. So I don't know how you got sucked in to stay.
Yeah. It was sort of similar. Like, you make those personal connections, isn't it? Like, things that you can relate to and stuff. And I feel like at the start, it was just going to be like another phase because during my teenage years, I stan a lot of different artists, a lot of different bands. I was a directioner. Yeah, I'm going to admit it. I've been there. I'm sorry. I don't regret
Why are
it.
you lying? The other day when they were doing this comeback, you were like there, ready with the countdown on YouTube. Why are you lying?
I was. I'll admit that. And I love them. But yeah, I feel like with BTS, I feel like if it was just like a phase, it would. I feel so dumb like saying a phase, but yeah, I wouldn't still be a fan of them. But it was when I really got into their music and lyrics and what their message was and what they're trying to do with their music, because it's bigger than just them, just as artists, and them just want to be like make music and get famous. It's like about encouraging and like, what's the word? What am I trying to say?
Empowering?
Yeah, exactly. Empowering the entire generation. So yeah, that really stuck with me and their personalities and everything, and just how good their music was. That's what made me stay personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there's been so many different bands and so many artists that have had like a big, following, like the Beatles, One Direction and stuff. But for BTS, their success, especially for a foreign language group come from Asia, has been so unprecedented. Yeah. And it's crazy. Like, the
they've
records
achieved
broke.
a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like two ways you could like divide talking about that. Like their success in Korea and their success in the rest of the world. Because they started from a company who were, probably one of the smallest companies in Korea. And you have the big three companies who produce a lot of music and new groups and stuff like that. And they, they're not, I'm not going to say they're guaranteed success, because obviously these groups work hard, but they're guaranteed much more success than these other groups because they're, they're already produced by big companies. So they were, they're up against that. And now they're taking over the Western world. So, there's a lot they've achieved in not just their own country, but the rest of the world. So, yeah, they've done a lot, haven't they?
It's insane what they've achieved, because like it hasn't been done before. That's the most like shocking thing. That's why everyone's so surprised, and that's why their fans keep growing. So yeah, I've got a few records here that they've broken. I'm just going to read them out. So there's so many, but there's just a few. So they're the first group since the Beatles to have 3 Billboard #1s within a year. They have the first foreign language #1 album on Billboard since 2006. First album by a Korean artist to top the UK album charts. Highest sales for an album ever on the Gaon Music Chart, which is a Korean chart. Most viewed YouTube videos in 24 hours, like multiple times. And most recently, what was it? The Hot 100. I thought we wrote down here.
Billboard Hot 100. They topped it #1 with their new song Dynamite.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, yeah, that literally happened at the time of us filming this. It literally happened last night.
Last night. Apparently, it's the first song by an Asian artist as well in 57 years to ever go #1.
57, really? Wow.
57 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's one of the things they wanted to achieve. And they were going crazy on Twitter last night. Like, not that they don't tweet and stuff, but they've not been as active at the minute online. And they all went crazy last night on all their things that they post on. They couldn't believe it. And it's one of the members' birthdays today. So they were like, it's like a birthday present for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've managed to break out really well into Western society, because some people say like xenophobia is quite a strong word, but I find like in music, if it's foreign and it's not in English, people don't want to listen to it unless sometimes someone's put, unless it's like an American or English artist who's put a little bit of something into it to almost like spice it up. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just think they've done really well. I mean, their song, I think some people were disappointed that it took them to write or to produce an English song for it to go to number one, because a lot of their other songs are, you know, a lot of their songs have quite deep meanings, talk about issues that young people go through and all that jazz. And, you know, those ones haven't topped. But you know what? I think it's good. It's a step in the right direction, because I think a lot of people don't want to listen to music that's not English, which is, I find it a bit weird. I'm someone that listens to all sorts of music, French, Spanish, whatever.
Yeah. I feel like
You know, it sounds good. It's good. You know what I mean?
exactly. In 2020 as well, when we have technology, when we have Google, we have subtitles. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to tell people how to live their lives, but I feel like, why
But
not?
you are.
Yeah, like do it, listen to them, stream now. But yeah, why not? Like, why shut yourself off to like the entire world? There's so much more culture out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. This year has gone so fast and so much has happened. But this year was also the year of Parasite. And
Yeah,
they were saying, you know, that was a gateway again for Korea into the rest of the world. Because, you know, not a lot of people know anything about Korea other than North Korea. South Korea has a lot of great food, culture, music, films. And, you know, he was saying, you know, if once you get past that one thing, that subtitle, your whole world will change.
literally.
You're open to so many more things. There's some great films and music and culture out there, but we limit ourselves because it's not in English,
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
yeah. I think it's a big shame, but obviously BTS have been breaking that stereotype, that standard that's everyone had, and yeah, like they always say, music is universal. And I think they've really pioneered like
Yeah.
a path for people to start listening to music from other cultures and other languages. Yeah,
Mm.
I think they're doing really important work.
Yeah, and they use their achievements for good, you know. You know, when they break out and the money they make, they really give back to their fans. There's so much content that that we as fans get, and you know, they donate and they do all sorts of great charity work. So, you know, I don't think it really hit me like what happened yesterday.
Yeah,
Like, it's so big, and you know, we talk about their achievements, but I think one of the biggest achievements is what they've done for the Korean economy. Like,
yes,
they have boosted the Korean economy massively, and they've also kept it going through COVID-19.
yes.
Like, they've been bringing money in, haven't they?
I've got a statistic. It's 4 trillion won. It's estimated how much value they bring to South Korea per year, and that was researched in last year, 2019. Four
Yeah.
trillion. So that's like $3.5 billion per year. It's estimated how much they bring to the economy. That's
And, you know,
yeah,
I think a lot, you know, I'm not saying everyone needs to like BTS, you know. There's a lot of music that I wouldn't listen to, and artists that, you know, I don't want to listen to. You know, it's all right not to listen to music, but I
mm,
think people don't. I think some people get in the mind frame of like, you either love it or you have to hate it. You don't
mm-hmm,
have to hate it. And I think, you know, at least appreciate the efforts that they've gone through. They've gone from one of the smallest companies to now being one of the biggest groups in the world. And you can't deny those facts with how much money albums they're making and the hits and the awards. You can't underestimate that now. I just think people need to appreciate the hard work that's gone in. You don't have to like them, you don't have to like their music, but you have to respect what they stand for and what they've done, I think.
100%. Yeah, their contribution to music, especially in the West as well, because I feel like it's kind of similar to what you were saying earlier about like xenophobia. There's definitely like a bias and Western superiority almost in the music industry. How like America is deemed as the hub, the home of music, and if you make it in America, you've made it in your career. So yeah, I feel like the fact that they've broken that like stereotype and standard, and they've done that as well. They've broken America. that just shows how successful they are. And yeah, so yeah, one thing I wanted to say was, obviously they've achieved so much in their career, they've done so much. I wonder, like, because been a lot of K-pop artists before then, and a lot of artists in general that have tried to break out and like be super famous and super successful. But I wonder what it is, or what do you think it is about them that's made them like this famous? Yeah, what stands out about them? Yeah.
I think it's two things. I think the fact that they're so humble, and they still respect where they came from, is one thing that keeps them getting bigger now. Not at the start, obviously, but keeps them at that level where people respect them, because they never forget how hard, and they never stop working hard. And I think the other thing is probably what they stand for and what they're trying to talk about. They hit a very large audience. They don't shy away from talking about issues and talking about I don't know if I love myself, what it is to love yourself, and respecting yourself, and youth, and getting, their music videos, getting in trouble, having friends. What is all this? What is youth?
Yeah.
They defined youth. They defined what it is to love yourself. They go speak at the United Nations to talk about, we're all different colours, we're different gender identities, but we're all, we're all looking for something, and we all want love, respect, to love ourselves, and and they've never stopped being, like I said, humble and remembering to give back to their fans, to the world, donating. And I think they still do. They have a whole thing with UNICEF.
Yeah.
The Love Yourself campaign.
Yeah.
So I think that's what keeps them going, because I think there's a lot of artists I see that, they make music, they probably care about music, they care about their fans, but other than that, that's all they're doing, which I'm not saying is not enough, but I feel like they give a lot. Like, it is their literal entire life. Like, especially in Korea, it's quite hard for you to have a social life. Just how it works in Korea, and
for idols especially.
You know what I mean? It's not like in America where someone's going to go off and they're having a kid halfway. You know what I mean? They're living, breathing that entire life.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. I think it's being humble, and what they're trying to represent, or the new messages they always keep coming out with and exploring, because they always do like trilogies, or like a couple of albums around an idea, and it's always like the next album needs to be another thing we want to explore. And that was what it was, wasn't it? Like the Love Yourself campaign, they wanted to explore what that was. The Most Beautiful Moments in Life, Young Forever, that was about youth. So they always come out with something that they're trying to understand, depict, which is, it keeps the music fresh, keeps the ideas fresh.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I think it is. I don't know what you think it is.
No, I definitely agree, for sure. Like, especially about them as people and how they've stayed so humble, and how they always give back, and the charity work and everything. And their music as well. Yeah, I agree with that, because obviously it's coming from their perspective. They're still young people, and like talking about life and topics and like difficulties in life through their perspective kind of encourages the younger generation, and it's something for us all to relate to, I think. But another reason why I think they've made it so big and are still like, growing bigger and bigger is their fans, the ARMY.
I'll go off, Aisha.
Yes, I mean, they have, because we'll talk a bit about ARMY like in a bit, because ARMY as a whole is a whole thing aside from BTS, but they have a connection with their fans that I've never seen before. Like, it's so strong. They give their fans so much content, and they love their fans. Like, every artist says, oh, we have the best fans in the world. We love our fans so much. But like, the connection between ARMY and BTS, and how ARMY takes upon themselves to promote BTS and do everything they can, and then BTS does so much for ARMY back, and it's just like a never ending cycle. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to be a part of, and I think that's one of the main reasons why BTS keep growing, because ARMY keeps giving them that much love, and they keep loving Army back, and it's just a big thing. Yeah,
I think it's like you actually feel like you know them a bit, and that sounds really cheesy and cringy, like all proper fangirly, but it's like, you know, with their documentaries, their films, they want to be connected with you. They want you to know what they're going through, and they're trying to, you know, it's like, not that they have to give it us, but it's like you're giving them your time, your energy, your money, and this and that, and they understand that, and they appreciate that, and they know they would still be that small little group in Korea without us. And that's that humble respect, isn't it? And it's like, you know what, I want you to see behind the scenes, what are we doing, how do we make it, and all these things. Like, you know, when they get their awards, that it's always like, we need to remember to thank the fans, because we ain't here without the fans. And, you know, a lot of the time they will make sure there's some English and Korean, so, you know, they know that they're targeting lots of different people all around the world. And yeah, it's just they have a deep understanding, I think.
Yeah,
Their success really is fan driven.
Yeah, for sure. Army is just a
Army
whole.
crazy.
They crazy. Like, they scare me sometimes.
Crazy.
I get on Twitter and, like, sometimes they're roasting someone or something's happening, and I'm like, what? I always miss what's going on. But yeah.
And because there's so many fans all over the world, it's like never ending what's going on. Because something's happening, something's popping off, some achievements happening somewhere in the world, and it's like anytime you put your phone on, there'll be something else, and you'll be like, you'll wake up and you're like, oh my god, or you're about to go to sleep and something's happening, you're like, oh, what is going on? It is hard to keep up with. It is hard, but it's rewarding.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, because, like, people are saying, especially now with the Billboard #1, like, your pride grows, because when you've been with them for a while and you've supported them and you see them grow and reach these achievements, you feel like so much pride, and they deserve it, and you've given it to them. So yeah, it's weird. It's a great thing to be an Army, because even, like, when BTS are not active or making music, there's always something going on. Like, there's lots of fan content going on, fan projects. Yeah, fans are donating to charity and stuff. Like, BTS are definitely massive philanthropists. You know the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philanthropists.
Yeah.
Philanthropists.
Definitely. That's the one, yeah. I'm not going to try and say it because I can't say it. But yeah. Yeah, like you said, from the beginning of their career, they've always been wanting to give back charity and, like, in their music and stuff. And that's really inspired Army. And I think that's one reason why Army are so, like, self-sufficient. They don't need BTS to come out and say, come on, guys, let's donate to this charity. Let's try and get #1. Army will just do it by themselves. Yeah. So I don't know what.
Like, the connection's so strong between the two, BTS and Army. You know, Ice Cream Man is out. I don't know if you can hear, but you know, BTS always donates a lot of money to charities. Sometimes they'll do it quite sneakily, and then fans will find out. And we know that they donated a lot of money. I think, was it 1 million?
Yeah.
To Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And the fans matched that. So that's 2 million straight to Black Lives Matter movement. And yeah, I just think it's amazing, because we understand and appreciate each other. And, you know, that also looks good on one another, doesn't it? You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you're crazy fangirls and whatever. And it's like, but what have you done?
Exactly.
Because we've raised all this money for charity, so what's the problem? So I think that's another great thing about it.
100%, yeah, because so many, I don't want to, like, bash another artist, but yeah, I feel like we're one of the main fandoms to be doing that, and, like, we've really paved the way, if you want, in a sense, of doing that. Like, in terms of BTS charity work, I've got a few, like, notes. So some of the things they've done is they've donated money to the SeaWorld ferry victims, like you said, the 2 million to Black Lives Matter, and obviously the Love Myself campaign with UNICEF, and end violence, all that. So that's been massive. And then obviously armies reciprocated that. So we did the of 1 million to Black Lives Matter. And yeah, we have fan projects. We raise money for people's birthdays.
And there's loads of stuff going on. There's always charities for the birthdays, always, like, so fans will donate in the names of BTS members. And yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's I do think it's really amazing. Like, you know, I will be the first one to say, like, being in fandoms can be very toxic and stuff like that, but this is a really positive side to it.
So, like, there's so much we've talked about, like, about ARMY and BTS and stuff, and we probably haven't even covered half the stuff. There's so much more we could talk about in terms of their content and their music and stuff. But one thing I wanted to, like, talk about, because I haven't really thought about it myself, is like their impact on the future of music. So like 10, 20 years down the line, like things are not going to be the same, and I think a big part of it is because of them. Like we said about foreign language music and like tours and like K-pop becoming like a big thing. Yeah, I think that it's going to have a massive impact. I don't know if you have any thoughts.
I think one thing that let me close it on. I think, like, obviously the thing about like genres, I think, are going to be like less important. As in, like, not that I hate the term K-pop, but like I hate it. Like, they're not doing K-pop though, are they? Like, the amount of genres that BTS do, it's not just K-pop, is it? Yeah, it's Korean, but it's not just pop. They're doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be less like, oh, this is K-pop. It'll just be, this is music.
Yeah.
And did you hear my cat?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
She's agreeing with you. She's like, stan BTS.
Yeah, come here, Gracie. Come here. Do you stan BTS? Yeah, she does. You
Good
do,
girl.
baby, don't you? Come over here if you stan BTS.
My G, look at her. Gang. She said we in this band pan song you done for life.
Okay, Gracie, not bumming face, please. Thank you. Anyway, so that's one thing I think. Hopefully the genres will be less defined, like more inclusive, and it won't be like, yeah, well, it's K-pop. Well, it's not though, is it? It's more than that. So that's one thing for me that I hope this changes for the future of music.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I haven't really thought in depth about that because it's a bit weird how it's defined as K-pop because the K stands for Korean, and like Korean isn't a type of music, it's a country, it's a culture, and there's so many genres in that. So yeah, hopefully that changes in the future. But also just like, what's the word, like, oh damn, mine went blank. But yeah, just like global impact. That's not what I was thinking about. But yeah, how much people consume art from around the world. Hopefully that changes as well. Because I feel like it's still a stigma. In 2020, people are still not doing it. So I feel like BTS have paved a way and made a big change, but there's still like a long ways to go. And I hope there's room for a lot more artists now to feel like they can make it and be successful. But yeah.
Hopefully, though, there won't be any more of us like traveling all the way to London to see an exhibition that BTS has participated in, and it's just a screen outside of a house that's being used as a wedding, so you have to go around the back.
Oh yeah.
You remember that, huh?
That was an experience. That was a day for sure. Yeah. Yeah, being in a fandom and standing in the eyes. There's ups and downs, but honestly, overall, it's been a great experience. I really do. I feel like I'm doing a review of like my time as the ARMY. I really didn't want this episode to be like, this is why you should stand BTS. I love BTS, but it's hard when you're a fan.
Facts about people if they don't know them,
and
don't get it. It's like nice a little information, and from a perspective of two quite level-headed people, I think, as well, not from someone who's like, oh, BTS is the end all be all my entire life. Like, no, it's not like that. So
I think it's important because a lot of people that haven't heard of BTS before are now hearing about it. So to understand where it's coming from and a bit of history and why it's all happening, I think that's an important thing.
Yeah.
There's so much we haven't talked about as well. I think there's so much we could go into, but we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah.
I guess that brings us to the end.
I don't know if there's anything else to mention. Like, I'm trying to think, like, is there anything we've forgotten? I know we're going to do another podcast soon talking about more about literally the music, the meanings, the song, rating the songs ourselves. So we'll go into more details there, but I think we've given quite a good overview of like who BTS are and like what they're about and their, you know, what they're achieving, what they're doing for music, which I think is important and cool to find out about. So hopefully everyone who's listened or watched this podcast has enjoyed what we've had to say about it. This episode, when edited, is going to be very disjointed. Like we said at the beginning of the video, my car is having issues. So people arrived home to help me sort my car. So I've been popping in and out of the podcast this afternoon at the time of filming. So please forgive this disjointed episode. But anyway, before we finish, obviously my life has been crazy, but I got in contact with some people that I want to promote, but they've had a bit of a busy week, so we're going to do that in the next episode. However, I thought, you know, with the sad death of Chadwick, who played T'Challa in Black Panther, who has, what else? He's been in so many things.
Yeah.
So many films. But, you know, that's one character he's really renowned for, especially in Marvel. Passed away with cancer. So I've got some charities. I saw a thread on Twitter of some charities that you can donate to if you so wish, you know, in honor of him and his name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post some more information on Instagram and our Twitter, which is at wakeup_podcast. And yeah, I'll put all the stuff down below. I know that's not a lot of information, but I'm going to do a load of research on the best ones to get in touch with, donate with, and I'll put all those down below. So if you want to help out and honor Chadwick's name, then please do so. So yeah, that brings us really brings us to the end of our episode today.
Yeah. So we will put all the information for those charities and stuff in the description box below, and obviously all the stuff will be on our social media as well, our Instagram and our Twitter, and when this episodes come out, you can follow us on there and you can keep up to date for when this episode comes out and future episodes and stuff.
And what's happening with Spotify, which we're trying to work out still.
Yeah.
And SoundCloud, which we were ready to go, but we ain't ready to go. Capitalism happened and we were like, nah. So we're doing our best to get it on a platform where you can listen to like a proper podcast, so please bear with us.
Yeah, we're figuring it out, but until then, keep up to date with us on social media, and I guess we shall see you in the next one.
Goodbye.